Hello, everybody, and welcome to Super Jeff's World. I just botched the first take of this, so is this take two. I'm joined with my very good friend of the stupendous Wade.
Hello, everybody.
Oh my god, what the hell just happened?
Sorry, I had to cough right as you introduced me, okay?
Yeah, that was
Leave
weird.
me be. Just keep it going.
So, originally we had planned on recording this podcast talking about the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer, but Sony just said, yeah, no, we're going to ruin your day. So
And Sony was like, you guys like happiness? Well, too bad.
yeah, how could they possibly be like, okay, we're going to release the trailer the day after the Endgame trailer. Wait a minute. No, we're not. We're going to wait 10 days. Like, why don't they just wait another 6 months and then release it? And then everybody could just be like, yeah, we know that there's a Spider-Man movie. We don't need a lot of hype for it. We'll go see it. Like,
I really want to know what goes on at the Sony studios all the time, because it's just, like, weird, man.
yeah.
I picture just one person who's, like, really emotional that is constantly, like, changing their mind.
Yeah.
You ever with someone that's, like, really emotional and all the time they're just, like, changing their mind on what they want to do or
Yeah.
who they are or where they want to be?
Absolutely.
I picture that, but you know, with, like, a multi-million-dollar company, just, like, the
Yeah.
person in charge is just like, we're releasing the trailer, we're part of the MCU, this is a moneymaker, never mind. You know what, bro? The same person who decided not to release this trailer was the same person that decided on the frickin' stupid Woody Harrelson wig in Venom. I'm sure of it.
That is the worst decision I've ever seen in a movie ever. It's like, all right, we need an actor with red hair, like some cool curly red hair, because Cletus Cassidy has red hair. Wait a minute. What if we get a bald guy and we put the ugliest, most unrealistic looking red wig on him and make him deliver this terrible line and smile in the camera, say there's going to be carnage, and like, it's just a terrible scene.
Woody Harrelson would have made a great Carnage 10 years ago.
He's an amazing actor. I don't know what he was doing in that scene. Like, but that's the thing I think that's happened a lot in Venom is like actors kind of playing it up because they didn't take the movie very seriously. Definitely, what's the guy's name? Riz
Ahmed.
Yeah, like he didn't even try in that movie. He's just yells, but he doesn't have anything behind his like eyes or his voice. He just has like this fake angry voice. It's so easy to tell.
He's the most unintimidating person ever.
Yeah, but he's an amazing actor though. Like he's really good.
Yeah, he's great in Nightcrawler. He's pretty good in Rogue One.
What's that that TV series he did on HBO where he's in prison? That's really good.
No idea.
I can't remember the name of it. But
I don't watch TV, bro.
Yeah.
Nope.
TV kind of sucks.
I only watch one TV show, and that's just Game of Thrones.
What about One Punch Man?
That's an anime.
It's still a TV show.
I mean, I guess I watched all of One Punch Man in one sad night.
What do you mean one sad night?
I mean,
that was the happiest night of your life, and you know it.
It took a long time, and a lot of One Punch Man is great, but it's like hard to take in all at once.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of stuff. It's like Game of Thrones. You can't watch a season of Game of Thrones in one night.
Did you see the little teaser they put out for Game of Thrones?
I didn't. Game of Thrones is one thing where I'm not going to watch anything until the series comes back.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is one thing where I can really wait and experience it and be surprised.
Yeah. The teaser isn't any footage of the show. It's all just hype of like the map just being burned and stuff like that, and like there's like a wolf that freezes and a dragon that catches on fire or something, and it just says Game of Thrones April,
I would be more excited for Game of Thrones if the last season had been better.
Yeah. The ending is just going to all be explosions.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's something has to happen, That's what everybody wants. That's what they're going to get. It's just going to get a bunch of fighting and somebody's going to take the throne. But I mean, what else could they even do? If they had like a really smart ending where people just talked out their problems and maybe there was like a stabbing and that was it, I don't think anybody would be satisfied. They have to be like, I want to see the ice dragon fight the fire dragon. Like,
that'll be cool.
I mean, it will be cool.
It's just like I don't know. I'm excited for Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is great. I feel like it's gone on a little bit too long. Unfortunately, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, those shows that just kind of overstay their welcome just a little bit. I think that it has slightly.
The Walking Dead overstayed its welcome with like 8 seasons.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. I mean, I was recently texting somebody and they were like, oh, I was like finishing up The Walking Dead. Like I'm catching up on The Walking Dead. And I was just like, why? Like, what's there to see? It's terrible.
Yeah, I haven't watched The Walking Dead in years.
Yeah.
Like almost 5 years.
Yeah. It's like...
The last Walking Dead episode I watched was... Is it season 3 that's Terminus, or is it season 4?
I think it's season 4, because in season 3, I think that's the one where they're still in the prison. Yeah, because season 3 they're in the prison. The ending of season 4, I think, is when they go to Terminus, because halfway through season 4, I think, is when the governor attacked the prison.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because season 2 is the farm, so season 3 has to be the prison, and they don't escape until. Or they don't leave until after like the halfway point of the 4th season. Yeah, and that's immediately where the show dips. I mean, the show definitely dips in like season 2, but it was always watchable, I think.
No, I didn't like season 2 either. I remember being in like high school watching season 2.
Yeah, no,
and being so unimpressed with the ultimate resolution.
I'm not saying that season 2 is good. I'm just saying it's like there's still characters in it like that you want to see, like Shane.
Yeah.
And like season 3 has some good stuff, I think, and you're introduced to some new characters that I
still remember.
fun.
Do you remember the shotgun that Herschel has in season 2 that like has like
Unlimited,
1 million rounds in it?
Yeah.
It's just like too much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That show, The Walking Dead, I have no interest. It's kind of like a show, honestly, where I don't even care about the highlights anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think I've seen Carl's death.
No,
I haven't looked
terrible.
it up. Is it really?
Yeah.
I watched the last thing with Rick where he like flies off in the helicopter.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. He doesn't die. So I don't know. It's just I've kind of lost all interest in it completely, you know?
Yeah, I think that it's just one of those shows that its only driving force was these couple of characters that you were kind of interested in their storylines. And then it's like the show ultimately has nowhere to go because it's all the same point. It's basically like these characters have to be in a place where they could survive. And because of that, there's really nothing going on with anybody. You know what I mean? They try to come up with situations where it becomes more interesting, but it never really gets there, and it certainly hasn't in the past few seasons. It's just boring. The only shows that I really watch, which is not many, I never have the TV on in my house.
Yeah, you watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia all the
I watch
time.
It's Always Sunny, but that's 10 episodes every other year, you know,
Yeah.
and they're only 20 minutes long. And then Rick and Morty is good, and that's like the same situation. It's like 10 episodes every other year.
There's something with like TV shows in me where it's like it takes a long time for them to get going for me.
Yeah.
And for me to get hooked on it. Like even Daredevil, like that took me a long time to get into, you know? It took me...
You don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, they all got canceled. But I just... All this filler, it just like gets on my nerves a little bit. Even like filler in movies that I love.
Yeah.
Like the Scarlet Witch Vision stuff in Infinity War, like that's just kind of like filler that I don't really care about.
Yeah.
Those are characters that aren't really developed at all. They haven't really gone through these arcs. They kind of have surface layer arcs, but I just am not interested in it at all. Like I don't care about their relationship. Like it's not earned.
Funny thing about Scarlet Witch and Daredevil is they're the two characters in the MCU that both lost their vision. I saw that on Instagram.
Yeah,
guys.
I saw it on
That's
Instagram
not an
too.
original
Oh,
joke.
Gosh, that was sad. That is a podcast low.
I think that there's going to be somebody that listens to this and probably thinks that's funny.
And chuckles a little
Yeah.
bit. No one's going to gut laugh.
If I
from
could
that.
give somebody a good little chuckle, you know, that's what I'm here for.
So I saw a movie last night that ruined like my day.
Wait, could I just explain before you talk about this movie that he had watched this movie, and then after he watched it, we went for another run, and like very shortly in the run, he stopped and he was like, "Bro, we got to just walk a little bit. I got to tell you about this movie. It was apparently that bad. So explain, because I have not seen this movie.
So
it just confused me when I even found out it came out.
It's not quality-wise awful.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's Mowgli by one of my favorite actors working, who is Andy Serkis. I love him. I think he's phenomenal as Caesar the
Super
Ape.
talented.
I feel like he's deserved an Oscar for not only Caesar, but Gollum way before.
Yeah.
He was Snoke.
Maybe doesn't deserve an Oscar for that.
Maybe not for Snoke. But he's just a great actor, and I enjoy him, and I enjoy watching him. I enjoy him when he's regular actor man and not doing some CGI crazy thing. But it's just this Jungle Book movie. The first, like, literally 85% of it is like a normal Jungle Book. Like, it's a little darker, right? But you can move with it. It's like, I like this. I know the story. This is a little bit different telling of this story, but it's making sense. I'm enjoying it, right? But then we get to, like, this scene, and there are spoilers for Mowgli now. There's the cutest little wolf pup that is, like, albino, so it doesn't match up with the other wolves, and him and Mowgli are best friends. And this wolf is called Boot, and he's adorable.
Aww.
And there's a scene in it where Mowgli has failed this thing called the run, where you officially become a wolf and you're a part of the pack. He, like, fails it. And Boot, like, tells him to cheer up, basically, that it's okay that they're special. And, like, let's hang out. And it's like, you're my best friend. And it's like, we're special, so that's why we get along so well. And Mowgli starts to cry, and Mowgli freaks out, and he yells at Boot to leave him be, and that he's not special, he just came out wrong. And the next time you see Boot in the movie is after Mowgli has gone to the man village, and there's this hunter that is hunting Shere Khan, the tiger, who is voiced very well, I may add, by Benedict Cumberbatch. Cabbage Patch. By Benedict Cumberbatch. But anyway, the next time you see Boot, it's just Boot's head in the hunter's shed. And it's horrific, and it is so sad, and it turns out that the hunter's bad, and Shere Khan is bad, obviously, and the movie ends with Mowgli stabbing Shere Khan to death with a knife. Yeah. And it just is like the last 85% of this movie, I just feel like it wasn't, that moment, like, wasn't earned, and it was just horrific for no reason. And there was no real payback for it. Like, the hunter was eventually killed by an elephant, but the same elephant that he took his tusk from, apparently. He's like, got this rivalry with this elephant. But it's like one of these horrible moments where it's like an innocent character is offed for no reason. And I've only had this experience once or twice in a movie before, but it just kind of got on my nerves because it truly didn't feel earned. And it was just kind of like a dark moment for dark's sake. And then it all went downhill from there. So, do you have any movies where it's like it just has that one moment where it's like that's an uncalled for thing?
Yeah. The Conjuring 2, I think of immediately, where they're in the living room and Ed Warren grabs the guitar and they start singing Elvis music. And
Are you trying to make a joke?
No. Have you not seen that?
I've seen The Conjuring 2, but like I'm talking about a moment that's uncalled for in a film where it's just like unnecessarily dark for no reason.
Let me think. All I know is The Conjuring 2. It's a horror movie. Don't have a cute moment where everybody sings Elvis.
Yeah,
that threw me off the second it happened.
That is true. That movie does like have that part is just like ugh. The Conjuring 2 would be great if it wasn't called The Conjuring 2, and by great I mean like it would be an okay movie.
It would be good for horror movie standards.
But The Conjuring is one of my favorite horror movies. I think it's great. I think it's executed generically, but it's an example of a generic movie executed to the best of its ability.
Yeah.
Where it's just awesome.
One movie that I'm thinking of, it's not like the exact same situation you're describing, but I remember being very turned off by it when I watched it the first time. Over time, I have grown to actually really enjoy it. But Mother, I don't think you've seen Mother, right?
No, just because of this one scene that you told me, I've not watched
Yeah,
it.
so it's like the movie starts innocently enough where it's basically like, just a couple living in a house, and Jennifer Lawrence is like, very nurturing and is trying to just kind of fix it up and, paint the walls, trying to pick a color and all that stuff. And what's his name? Javier Bardem. He's a writer, and he's like writing his book, and, there ends up being basically people that walk into the house throughout the story, and then like it gets kind of more and more as it goes on, to the point where like there's like almost like a funeral service there for a character who dies later on in the movie. But then it's like, and spoilers, by the way, for this movie, if you're dying to see Mother. As the movie goes on, it becomes like an all-out war in the house with like an actual invading military force. And then there's like this weird kind of like cult thing that forms, and Jennifer Lawrence has a baby, and then everybody takes the baby away from Jennifer Lawrence, and they hold
You don't got to go into detail.
Yeah, it's a really messed up scene, and the movie gets darker and darker and darker as it goes on, but it's really all saved for the end. And I remember I saw it in perfect conditions, where I was with my brother and we were in the movie theater, but we were the only two people in the entire theater. So we got to talk, and not bother anybody. Right. And I remember when that scene happened, we just kept looking at each other like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, what just happened? This movie got so weird so quick.
I had a moment, like, another movie that comes to my mind is like The Green Mile.
Yeah.
Not the big guy's death. I forget his name. John Coffey, I think his name is.
Yeah, the guy with the mouse.
Not the main guy's name, but the first person who the sponge isn't wetted correctly. Oh.
And Sam Rockwell's great performance, where he's bouncing off the walls, holding onto the bars, and he was screaming things like, "Oh, he's cooking now!" Like,
yeah. Oh man,
that's a really dark scene.
I think that's the worst movie death I've ever seen.
It's really intense.
And I've seen Bone Tomahawk.
Or as we call it,
Tomahawk Chop.
Tomahawk Chop. I don't think we've ever actually referred to Bone Tomahawk as anything other than Tomahawk Chop. I don't remember how that started, but that's how we always talk about that movie, which is a movie that we end up bringing up in conversation every now and then for some reason. I've only seen it once.
Yes.
It's good enough though. Like the gore in it is really good looking.
I was at your house when you showed me that movie.
Yeah.
I remember sitting on the edge of your bed with your brother sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
And you sitting next to me watching this movie. And at the worst part, I just look over and it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
What the heck, man? But here's another question. Have I ever shown you a movie that I talked up and you were like, I don't get it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Most of the movies that you've got me into, I've ended up really enjoying. The only movie that I think that we ever watched together that it wasn't that I didn't get it. It was obviously, it's just that it's a hard movie to watch, which is A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, that is a hard movie to watch. That's another movie. But that one's special too because it keeps that uneasy feeling throughout the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's like you're following this protagonist that is just evil to his core.
Yeah. I just remember seeing that movie and being like, that's probably the last time I'm ever watching this.
Yeah.
Just because it's not something you want to consume regularly. It's just so dark and messed up. And, I mean, it's funny at points. Like, I mean, funny in an absurd way, not in like a, there's the comedic relief character way.
Yeah.
Like Get Out or something like that, where there's like that one guy it keeps cutting to that's always really funny.
Get Out is a great movie that I think deserves all the success it's been given.
Yeah, it's really good.
Absolutely. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen, what's the trailer for, there's a trailer for a new movie I can't remember what it is, but there's a line in it about Get Out that's really funny where like there's a black person drinking tea and then there's this white guy that says, I thought that black people stopped drinking tea after Get Out. And it's
I remember seeing that trailer, but I don't remember what it's
what
from.
is that movie? I just remember it's that guy that's in
it's the stupid one where the girl hears all the male's thoughts.
Yeah. The mind reading one.
Yeah.
Having mind control powers would be really fun.
No.
It would also be
I wouldn't
really
want
weird.
like mind control or hearing what people think.
Not mind control, hearing what people think.
You think that would be fun?
If you could turn it off, you know.
I think I would just get my feelings hurt. No, for real.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I think I would just get my feelings hurt all day long.
Yeah.
And I would get to the point where I couldn't leave the house.
Uh-huh.
Legitimately.
I just imagine like you getting into conversations about Star Wars and then hearing their thoughts, the person you're talking to going like, God, he's such a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
That's what would happen.
Yeah.
But that would make me so sad.
Yeah.
It really would. It would make me feel beat up every time. And I know people don't want to hear my thoughts. Because a lot of times I'll talk to people that I actually don't really like just because I want to like show them like, hey, I'm trying. You know? But sometimes they just zone out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow. Or it's like, you have no idea that I really don't like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's always really awkward.
I think everybody has that, though.
Yeah, there's nothing more awkward than when you're talking to a person and it's like you have absolutely no interest in the conversation and you're trying to find a way out, but it's so clear that the person you're talking to is like very engaged in the conversation.
And excited, yeah.
Yeah, and they're excited to like tell you this thing that they've been like wanting to talk about forever, but they don't really have somebody to talk about it to. It feels terrible.
Yeah.
But also
because you don't want to be in that moment,
yeah.
But you want to like make them feel like, hey, I'm listening and this is genuinely interesting and thank you for taking the time to talk to me about it and teach me something new. But then you're just like, I just want to go home. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. But yeah, that happened to me today, and it's so bad because the people that normally do it are always just the nicest people.
Yeah. It's that dilemma. Do I want to be nice? Do I want to, look like a good person, or do I just want to yell and scream?
Yeah.
And tell them I don't care.
Yep. What else should we talk about?
I don't know. I mean, there's your cat.
My cat's on the table right now. She's really cute. I'm kind of worried about her.
Oh, yeah. She's been vomiting, which is a thing I think that is normal for cats. I think cats just throw up a lot.
Yeah.
But also it's been really funny because it's like when she does it, I have to watch Stoops just be like, oh, God. The last thing he wants to do is clean that up.
Yeah. But I love her.
Yeah.
I have 2 black cats. Mm-hmm. I have one named
African-American.
African-American cats. I have 2 African-American cats with yellow piercing eyes.
Yeah.
So they're like my little Sith Lords. I love it. I think it's adorable.
Yeah. One of them is named after Kylo Ren.
One of them is named Kyla. Yeah, the one that's on the table right now.
Yeah.
And she's like a skinny, super, super, super lovable cat with like a white patch on her chest. And she's adorable. I love her.
I remember when I figured out the reason why you named your other cat Shady, because it was so funny. So his other cat's name is Shady, and because she's a black cat, I was like, oh, like a shadow.
Yeah.
And then I realized it's like, oh no, he named her after Eminem.
Yeah,
because he's a huge Eminem fan, so he thought it would be funny to name a cat Shady because of Slim Shady, and I was just
but also
so
the black
disappointed.
thing works too.
Yeah,
it's a good. These are good names. Come on, man.
I've heard better names.
No, you haven't. These are awesome.
What about like Josephina? Isn't that
for
beautiful?
a cat?
Yeah.
What the heck is wrong with you? Get out.
My
No, you're done. You're done.
My drum set's name is Debbie because I wanted a nice southern white trash name for my drum set.
I have names for my cars.
Sorry to all the Debbies that are listening to this podcast, by
I like
the way.
the name Debbie. That's a cute name.
It is a cute name.
I would totally name my daughter Debbie.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know that moment in Creed 2, though, where he's like, they name I forget what they named the baby, but Stallone is like, wait, what about like Kate?
I do remember
Take
that.
Creed. And he's like, yeah, it's got a nice ring to it. And he's like, you know my baby's going to be black, right? That was a good moment.
Creed 2 is a
Film.
It's a film. Yeah, it's all right.
It
It's
is
good.
good. It is very entertaining.
Yeah.
It is the Age of Ultron of the Creed universe. It is really good. You can have a fun time with it. It's not universe breaking. It's better than Age of Ultron.
It didn't break new ground.
It didn't break new ground. I would say that Creed is the best Rocky movie.
Yeah.
Then you have Rocky 2. Mm-hmm. Then you have Rocky.
Yeah, the weird.
Minus the weird scene.
Yeah.
Where he gets Adrian in his apartment. And then you have Creed 2. I actually think Creed 2 and Creed are some of the best of the whole franchise.
Yeah. Well, because everything after Creed 2, I think, goes downhill.
Rocky
or not Creed
2.
2, Rocky 2. It just starts getting weird. Especially, like, if you remember, like, I think in, like, Rocky 5, it might even be earlier. It might be, like, Rocky 4. Like,
I could tell you. I just watched them.
Don't they have, like, a robot butler?
Rocky 4, yeah.
Rocky 4, he has, like, a robot butler, and it's just, like, when did
gets
this
po-
movie
he-
stop taking place in reality?
It's weirder than that, Anthony.
Yeah.
Polly starts to date the robot.
Yeah. Polly is a funny character.
Yeah, he has a moment in Rocky 3, though, that, like, kind of makes me tear up.
What? Is it the one where he punches him a bunch?
Or is it Rocky, it might be Rocky 4. No. It's 3 or 4. There's a moment where he's in the tunnel, and he looks at Rocky, and he's like, I know I'm not the best person, and I know I mistreat people all the time, but I do my best, and I want you to know that if I could be anybody in this world, I would be you.
Is that have you seen? I don't know if this is what you're talking about. Have you seen the deleted scene with Polly
I
from
think it's Rocky 4.
Rocky Balboa?
No.
When there's a deleted scene of Polly from that movie where he breaks down in front of Rocky, and he's talking about how he misses Adrian a lot.
Are you sure it's a deleted scene?
I think it's a deleted scene. And, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a deleted scene. It might not be. I haven't seen that movie.
He's like, I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here when he's talking to, like, Adrian's grave or something.
No, he's talking to Rocky, and they're, like, in an alleyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then he's like, because I mistreated her, okay? Yeah. I know what you're talking
he's
about.
He's crying, and he's just like, she was the only thing I had in my life, and now you're the only thing I had in my life, and it's a really sad scene. But also, it's just like, shut up, Polly. Like, get to the boxing.
I like Rocky Balboa, too.
Yeah. It's got that great speech in it.
Let me tell you something you already know. That's the best motivational speech in movies. Like,
it's really good.
They still use it all the time.
Yeah. I'm sure there's probably a million videos on YouTube with somebody putting the score to Inception behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would fit perfectly.
Do you watch those motivational videos, by the way?
Not really. There was a point in my life where I would watch a lot of stuff like that. Have you ever seen the video of Charlie Chaplin in his he was in a movie. I think it's the first movie where he ever had a speaking role. And he was basically playing like an Adolf Hitler. And he has to make this big speech, and then he gives this super amazing motivational speech about how people need to unite and experience life the way it was meant to be experienced, and, you know, stop fighting and embrace, you know, our new technologies and how we could use all of our new intelligence as a way to become better people instead of, you know, building weapons and, you know, bringing us down and all that stuff. It's like a 5-minute speech. And I'm pretty sure it's the first thing Charlie Chaplin ever said with audio in like a film, and it's so good. But somebody took it and put the music from Inception behind it, and it makes it much better.
Really?
Yeah, because it makes you just want to like fight the world and be like, I'm gonna be a good person today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. And there's a bunch of videos on the internet like that where it's just like, you know, random motivational things from either, you know, different movies or like philosophers or something like that. Philosophizers. As Ben Stiller would say. But I haven't been watching anything like that recently. Maybe I should download some while we go to the gym and play it through my headphones and be
Yeah,
like, yeah, I'm
motivational
strong.
ones. They don't work for me in the gym.
They do?
No, they don't.
Oh, they don't?
No, they
You've
can
tried
work-
it?
Yeah. They work for me like before I go to the gym, but in the gym it's all music.
Yeah.
Music just really gets me going.
You just need the rhythm.
Yeah.
When we were running the other day, I was listening to music, and
Does it help?
the way it helped is if I had the right song that was at the right pace where I could match my breathing to the song. That was the only time the music really helped. It doesn't really help me so much as far as like an energy thing, where it's like I'm listening to a song and it gets me hyped, and then I run better because of it. It just gives me a pace to match the breathing and then kind of control it, and then I stop focusing about like my legs, and all I focus on is the breathing, because it just distracts you from the pain. So that helped a little bit. But when we run, or even whenever I do any exercising, I find that if I'm listening to music, that like listening to like hard rock music or whatever doesn't actually help me as much as just listening to any song, even if it's actually like just a quiet acoustic song that's just like a guitar and a singer with no drums or anything like that. You know, it doesn't really matter.
I actually have specific lifting songs for specific exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what? I know that you listen to the Avengers theme every now and then.
Yeah, but only on bench.
When Thor comes to Wakanda.
Yeah, but only on bench press, because it's like you're going for like that heavy weight, so
Yeah.
you need like an instrumental.
Absolutely.
But it's like when I'm just doing like a curl, I can listen to like a rap song.
Yeah.
So,
you know, if the audience ever goes to the gym and you're lifting on the bench, I highly recommend listening to the music that plays when Thor arrives in Wakanda and then throws his axe everywhere and then screams, "Bring me Thanos," and throws it in the ground. Because there was one time I was benching and Stoops was like, "Hey, try this." And he puts his headphones on my head and it's playing that music, and it makes you lift harder and more weight. It's just, it gets you there because all you could think about is how awesome Thor is, and you're like, yeah, fucking Thor, I love Thor. And then you lift no matter what the pain is. It's such good motivation.
yeah, absolutely.
But use it sparingly. You don't want to burn it out.
Yeah, don't burn out the Thor arrives.
Yeah. You know what's weird? Have you ever fallen asleep listening to one song
Yeah.
on repeat?
Yeah.
When you do that,
Only once, though.
only once, when you wake up, does the song sound different?
No.
I've done that a couple of times, and I feel that every time I do it, I ruin the song. Which I don't do it, you know, I don't do it anymore because I've had that experience. But like, I would find a song that I love to the point where it's like I'll listen to it in my headphones, play it on repeat, go to sleep. It's playing the entire time I'm sleeping. And then I'll wake up and I'll hear the song, and it's like all the notes are wrong to me. I don't know why. It sounds really weird.
That's probably a musician thing.
And I remember the first time it happened to me, I was convinced I had a brain tumor. I was like,
Really?
I got a tumor. I have a tumor in my brain. Because why did my ears not work? These notes are wrong, but it's the song. It's not like somebody's playing it wrong. It's supposed to sound right. Why does it sound wrong?
I experience in my car songs that I wouldn't normally like just through those really nice speakers. Mm-hmm. Like, I end up really enjoying certain songs and them being like some of my favorite.
Yeah. Do you know which band I really like to listen to through good speakers? Because I find that their mixing is very well done.
What is that?
And I'm going to sound really lame. Mumford and Sons. They have like masterful mixing in their recordings. Like, they have so many cool sounds and their dynamics are just so impressive. Not to say that I'm constantly bumping to Mumford and Sons. I just think that they're just talented artists.
My dad really likes them.
Yeah, I really like them too. I don't know why I'm lying to you guys.
My dad's taste in music and my music is like, it's a little bit okay, but there's like a song, I forget who it's by, but it's called like The Boxer.
Yeah.
Is that by?
Oh, that's The Boxer is Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, Simon and Garfunkel. And I just don't get it. He's like, this is a good workout song. And I'm just like, what?
Mumford
No.
and Sons did a cover of The Boxer, actually. That's really good. I don't know if it's as good as the original, obviously. Simon and Garfunkel were amazing.
Yeah, my dad said that he got to see them live, which was really cool. Because he's a cop, and they would go to like these fairs that he would be in charge of working obviously as like security and stuff. Because sometimes that happens. It's like they need an extra hand, so they'll call an officer in to work there. Yeah, I can share a few. It's kind of interesting. I got a few stories for my dad, like crazy cop stories. He actually on the phone was like talking to a drunk the other day to me.
Oh yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah, he was just like, this guy was just laying on the street.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, did you fall? Are you okay? Like just being super nice. And you can tell the moment where he had had enough though, where he's like, well, if you didn't fall, you need to get up. Because this guy was just like laying on the ground. Yeah. And he's like, how much have you had to drink today? And he's like, oh, I had a cup of coffee earlier. And my dad, like that line, he just passed it. Or he was like, don't bullshit me. You know exactly what I mean. Answer the question. And I was just like, oh, I've heard my dad take that tone with me before. So, yeah. I remember my dad, one of the maddest times I've ever seen him is when he came home after someone kicked out his police car windshield. I don't know why, but he had a guy in his front seat. I don't know if he had more people in the back seat or what. I don't know the whole story. But he kicked out the front windshield. So my dad punched him in the face and then handcuffed his legs. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Your dad sounds like a badass.
My dad...
Sir, if you're listening to this, I respect you.
My dad is a badass. And I know for a fact that I'm stronger than him, but also that he could kick my ass still. Because he just knows how to do it.
Yeah. I mean, fighting is less of a strength thing and more of a just being good at it thing.
Right. And there's like he explained this to me, like why he's good at fighting. Because he's been a cop for my entire life, almost like 25, 26 years, something like that. Yeah. And he's like in his 50s and he still lifts weights. And he still runs a lot. He's still someone you wouldn't want to mess with. He really isn't. And he says the key to winning a fight is confidence, like truthfully, because there's something in human beings where they can sense exactly if something is off. Yeah. And my dad was explaining this to me. He says, I've only lost a few fights. And it's not because I'm the best fighter. It's not because I'm the strongest guy, even though he is strong. He's like 6'4", and pretty dang strong too. But it's just like I've trained myself to not have fear in those moments anymore. And he says when you confront someone, even if they're stronger than you, it is hard because something in their minds clicks that's like, this guy knows something that I don't know. Yeah. He explained it to me that literally that's what goes on in their minds, like automatically. It's like, this person's not afraid and I don't know why. Because normally when you're in a fight, obviously you're terrified, right? Yeah. It's just normal to be terrified. So if you can train yourself to not be scared in that moment, you will win. And most of the time they won't even want to fight you. Yeah. Because like I said, you know something that they don't know. And I remember one time there were these two drunk guys and they were fighting outside of like a Halloween thing that I went to with my dad. And there's two younger guys, both of whom were like, they were shorter than him, but they were clearly, obviously younger and they looked pretty built. And they were fighting and my dad grabbed them both and like tore them apart. And he told them to effing stop being a bunch of assholes pretty much. And they both just like bowed instantly. He didn't even have to say he was a cop. He didn't have to say anything. And it was just crazy because you know that these two guys, if they were confident, they could beat him up, obviously. Yeah. But he just knew something that they didn't. And what he knew was that he'd been doing this for almost 30 years. So I found that completely interesting.
It is a cool perspective to have because I know that like I've never experienced a bar fight, but I want to be mentally prepared for one because I play drums in a lot of bars. I haven't been doing it a lot lately. But I've played in so many friggin' bars, and there are a lot of times where I've seen people get like belligerent, and a couple of fights, but nothing crazy. And what I've gathered, all I need to know is if a fight were to start and I was going to be a part of it, most people are right-handed, and they're going to swing with their right first. And they're probably going to swing wide. So if you could block the right hand, you could go in right for the face, and then hopefully that'll be enough to scare your opponent to the point where they'll kind of stop fighting or at least be completely caught off guard. And then you can find a way either out of that situation, because the goal isn't to fight and win. The goal is to just avoid the fight entirely. You don't want to be in a fight. Right. It's just dangerous. But if you were to be in one, that's probably the way it's going to start, because it's just generally how people work, especially if you're drunk. Drunk people aren't the best fighters.
All I know is every time I've gotten in a situation like that, I start to shake.
Have you ever gotten into a fight before?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I remember I almost got in a fight with this one guy when I was like 16. Yeah. He was old. He must have been like 40 years old, like an adult. Mm-hmm. And I was not in the greatest place, like mentally, 16, where it was like I was very easily upset. Yeah. And I remember I was walking my dog, and I didn't have anything to clean up his poop, and it was like the winter time. Ew. So he pooped like in a park, like in the park, not in the guy's yard, but like in the park. Yeah. And the guy was like, "You gonna clean that up?" And I was like, "Yeah, just give me a second." And then he's like, "Don't walk past this way again." And I was like, "Oh, wow, okay." And then obviously, as a 16-year-old kid, I'm like, that old guy's not going to tell me what to do. Yeah. So I walked to the end of the road, and I turned right back around. And I walked back past. And he's like, he like yells at me. He's like, "You don't hear too good, do you, kid?" And I said, "No, I just don't give a fuck what you have to say." Yeah. And he got really mad, and he was drunk. He was super drunk. And he opened up his gate, and he got in my face. Yeah. And I'm not a small person. He must have been like a foot shorter than me. Like I said, and at this moment I was heavier too. I was like 250, 260, like 6'2". And you could tell like the second he got up to me and saw me up close that he was kind of scared. Yeah. Because he took a step back and I didn't. But that's the last fight that I was close to. And that was 5 years ago.
That story kind of reminds me of a time I was in Washington, D.C. It wasn't that there was going to be a fight, but I remember me and my brother were walking down a street, and there was a crackhead. And the crackhead walked up to me and my brother, says, like, "Y'all better get out the way, I'll slap the shit out of you." It was so weird and scary, and then we just walked past him, didn't say anything else. And then he crossed the street, and when he crossed the street, he was doing the Thriller dance. And it was just a weird moment, you know? Right. I've never been in a fight with anybody who isn't my brother. I've gotten into 1,000 fights with my brother. In high school, I was punched in the face twice for, I think, both funny reasons. The first time I was punched in the face was because there was a kid who had a hat, and there were people playing keep away with his hat, like just throwing it to each other.
That's the worst, man. You deserve to get clocked for that.
They threw the hat to me. I had no intention of being a part of this game. I just caught the hat, and the kid clocked me so hard and cut my upper eyebrow.
Oh, he cut you?
Yeah, he cut
He
my
must have hit you hard.
Hit me hard, dude. And then, like, it was like...
Did he knock you over?
No, but, like, my glasses fell off my face at the time I was wearing glasses. And, I went to look for my glasses for like a second because I was just like, what happened? And then he was gone. I had no idea where he went.
Gone in the wind?
Just gone in the wind. And then like he ended up getting suspended or whatever. I didn't even have a chance to fight him back. Not that I could. He was only like 2 feet taller than me. And then the second time...
He was way taller than you?
Yeah, he was way taller than me. The second time I got punched in the face was a band thing because there was this one kid who to this day I think... had something wrong with him, and he was playing this part on a snare drum that he was simply not capable of playing, and we had state competitions coming up, so we were going to be judged by a panel of
you
judges.
Said something to him.
No, the teacher took him off his part and put me on it because he couldn't have him play that because we're going to be judged, and he was so upset. that I took his part. That there was one time we were walking past each other in the hallway, and he punched me right in the nose. And I was bleeding a lot. And I remember just standing there with my hands cupped under my face, carrying my blood. And people were just like, what happened? And I was like, I think that I won't say his name, I think he punched me in the face. Like, 'cause he's mad. I don't know.
Did he get in trouble?
He got in trouble. He got suspended. But it was funny, too, because I remember at that moment, they brought us into a room.
Oh, and he was crying. You were fine.
Yeah. He was crying, and I'm just there holding like a bloody towel on my face. And it's like, dude, you punched me in the face. Why are you crying? It was so weird.
Yeah. I remember like those kids that like cry in school that are like the tough guys, where it's like if something happens to them, they start to cry.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the best.
There was only one moment I even remember where I feel like I came close to crying, and it was simply because I was being bullied. And I remember like I had headphones and music, and I just put my headphones in because I was like, I can't listen to this anymore.
Yeah.
I was being picked on for being fat.
I would get like
yeah.
It was not, crying was not a thing at my house. Let's just put it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Crying was something where it's like not, it's like you cry and you're not going to get comforted. You're going to be like, what the heck? Like, men don't cry. Like, you got a sister, she can cry.
Yeah.
But it's like, you don't cry. And, yeah, I didn't cry when I broke my leg. Not a tear.
Didn't?
Not a tear.
Ah. How? That sounds so painful.
Yeah, you just swear a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like...
Swearing will get you through it.
Yeah. All my friends had to pick me up off the floor and, like, helped me, like, carried me into the office.
Yeah.
And mostly it wasn't, like a cry. I just, like, wanted to really yell at people.
Yeah.
Because this one teacher, like, you know that one girl... That one, like, teacher, secretary who is always like, oh, I'm in charge and I can boss you around because I'm a secretary.
Yeah.
She's like, move it. Try to move it. And I was like, I can't. Like, and if you have ever broken a bone, you know, like, you can't move it. It's like a thing. You can't.
Yeah.
It's not that, like, I'm not trying. It's like I can't move it. And she's like, try to move it. Try to move it. And I'm like, I am trying to move it. And I just, like, had this feeling in my heart, like, I just wanted to attack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because she, like, walks up to it and, like, tries to move it. You're not supposed to do that with a brake. You're not supposed to do that with a brake. It's just not a thing. So I remember being really mad then. And I remember getting into the car in a really, really weird way where I had to, like, push myself all the way through the middle gap, like, into the back seat. And, like, stick my leg in the front seat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I had to go through the middle because I couldn't, like, I couldn't bend my leg.
Yeah. You know that feeling you just described of, you know, you can't move, but somebody's like, just try. And you're like, it's not that I'm not trying, it's that I can't do it.
Yeah.
I've had that feeling so many times in the gym with you.
Really?
Where you're just like, that's not the right technique. You got to do it like this. And I'm just like, it's not that I'm not trying. It's that my body's just not going to do that.
So just drop the weight.
Yeah, that's the thing is because, like, if you push too much weight, like, sometimes it's hard to get the right technique. But
you had to drop the weight today.
I did. Thank you for telling everybody how weak I am.
You're not weak. You just had to drop the weight.
That first exercise we did, I blew my back out on it.
Really?
In a way where it was like, not to say I injured my back. We were working out our backs today. And I was pushing a heavy weight on it that became harder and harder to do as time went on. But it felt good though. It felt really good.
Yeah. You get that really good stretch. The tracks are way more guided at the gym where it's not just like it doesn't let you really have bad form on certain exercises.
I feel like back, especially at this new gym we go to, like it just feels like I'm actually working it out now, as opposed to the old gym, where I mean, like there are certain exercises you can feel like, you know, that pump, but like at this gym, I feel it immediately. It's like
I feel like they have way more back machines than literally anything else.
Yeah, and they work really well.
Yeah,
you know. It's not so much just that they have more stuff. It's like this stuff is just better equipment.
Yeah.
You know? which wasn't even something that I thought existed.
It makes you realize just like truthfully how poor the other gym really is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not lying. Like, the other gym is just not a good place.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I like it, though.
It's
nostalgia.
Yeah. You only like it for nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't
That's
like
the
it
only
for
reason
quality.
I have any fond memory of that gym is because I feel like I got a lot of work done there, but it's such a shit gym compared to where we're going now. But yeah, we were actually talking about doing an Instagram for the gym, the former fat dudes thing.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
And you're looking awesome too, by the way.
Aw, thanks, bud.
You went on a cut and you look awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of that weight.
I
is
do
coming
look
out.
awesome. I'm looking very good.
Yeah, you were looking really cut. Yeah, you're looking good. Every day you look better. You're weaker every day, which is normal, but you're looking better.
I don't feel weaker every day.
Really?
I feel like I felt a lot weaker.
You started your cut
week.
on bench press, and you were like...
Yeah, I was definitely weaker that first chest day after the cut. But, like, I feel like I've gotten a little better since. Because I'm cutting less. Where it's like, I know you don't get to see my eating routine, but it is literally every 2 hours, eat half a chicken breast.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good job.
Yeah. All I do is I meal prep chicken breast, and I keep a ton of it in the fridge. And then when I'm out, I grill more. I burn the skin off of my hand, and then I just keep eating. And like there are other things that like I'll eat. I'll eat peanut butter still, and apples and celery. I like to eat celery. I like to eat. All of you guys? I'm curious because I always ask this to my friends, and I would love it if you could leave it in the comments. If you think that ants on a log is good,
it's good.
I like it. It's celery, peanut butter, raisins.
I like it.
I think it's chewy. It's like also kind of liquidy.
Celery doesn't have a lot of calories in it, does it?
That's calorie negative. You burn calories eating celery.
Wow.
Because you actually use more calories to chew and digest the celery than the celery has.
6 pickles.
6 pickles? What is that?
No, pickles.
Oh,
it's
pickles.
like pickles.
Yeah, it's like pickles. I thought you said 6 pickles. Like, what's this magic number of pickles?
You gotta eat 6 pickles to get ripped.
if you want to get ripped, eat 6 pickles a day. Every 2 hours, eat 6 pickles.
I remember watching this bodybuilder, and he opened up his fridge, and it was just full of pickles.
Yeah.
And he was like, I get hungry, and I have to eat something, and this has no calories.
I've done that before, but I've never had like that many pickles though, where I could do that.
I've done it before too, but you want to know the worst part? The last thing you want is a pickle.
Yeah, it is. It's the last thing you want because it's not gonna keep you full, and it's not satisfying in the way that like a piece of steak is satisfying or something like that, or any junk food. You know, there's something about eating a bag of potato chips that's just way better than eating a pickle.
Never liked potato chips.
No. I was saying
I'll
to you
eat
the
them,
other day,
but I don't like them.
what I like to do to test my cravings and improve my willpower is if I'm ever with somebody and they have chips, I'll eat one chip and then I'll stop and I'll force myself to not eat another chip. I'm like, now I got the taste in my mouth. Now I really want more chips. Don't eat anymore. I feel like that works a lot. Really, exercising, dieting, all that stuff is just the manifestation of your willpower. Like, how willing are you to go every day? How willing are you to eat these foods and less of these foods? You know, so test that. Like, eat one potato chip. I'm not gonna lie, I messed up a little bit on my diet today. I ate half a donut. Yeah.
And you ate junk food at the party.
Oh, I did. Yeah. Well, it was a party, bro.
Calories count at parties.
I ate like 45 grapes. We went to a
Everyone
party
kept
tonight.
asking me, Ethan, are you on a diet? Ethan, are you on a diet? Because I was just eating the grapes.
Yeah.
It's just like, no.
Whenever there's
kinda.
any like spread of food on a table and there's fruit, I always go for the fruit. I don't know why.
That's a good move, though.
It is a good move. I think it's a mental thing where I'm just like, if I go for the fruit, I'll eat less of the other stuff. But it's also just like, I really like fruit. And I normally don't have a lot of fruit in my house unless it's apples or bananas. Like, you know, just kind of the standard stuff. Every now and then I get pineapple. Do you know pineapple's really good for weight loss, by the way?
Really?
Pineapple and apples are both really good for weight loss. And the only reason I ever eat bananas is to stop cramps. Because I feel like I get a lot of cramps when I eat bananas. And when I eat bananas, I definitely get less.
You know, like at parties and stuff, it's like my cats are playing with the ball. At parties and stuff where it's like people will get offended if you don't eat like their food.
Yeah, totally. You know what's the worst? I hate this. You ever go to a party, or a family dinner, and somebody cooks something, and all they do is ask everybody how it is? I hate that.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think they're just proud of it.
Yeah, I know, but it's annoying. It's like, what do you think? Do you like it too? And then it's like everybody has to compliment them.
I had an experience today with my girlfriend's mom, and she was like, "Oh, I cooked the dip," and I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll have to try a little bit of it." She's like, "Oh, you're not going to eat?" And I was like, "No, I'm pretty full." And she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Oh, I had a hamburger before this." And she looked at me and she said, "I don't understand you."
That's so weird.
I know.
It's like, yeah, people eat during the day. Sometimes they eat hamburgers, you know? I'm trying to think if I've ever been judged for a meal that I've eaten.
I'm the person that's in best shape out of all of those people there.
Yeah.
You take every single
sure.
person that was there. I am in the best shape by far.
Absolutely. And I'm definitely in second best shape. I think we should just point out that I am definitely the second most handsome guy at that party. And by handsome, I mean definitely the first. I'm just not in as good of shape as you. Only because you've been at it longer. I'm in pretty good shape, though.
You're in good shape. You're strong. You're not athletic. We've addressed this before.
Yes, I know. I just want to point out.
You,
I'm new at this, guys. I'm new at this. I've only had muscles for like 3 months. You know?
You're very strong. Like, what do you call in shape, though? Like, is it how much you can lift, how you look, or like how functional of
I think it's just kind of like a culmination of a bunch of factors. It's like, I think you're in shape when you're not really overweight, but you're not really skinny, and you look like you go to the gym. I think that's just in shape.
That's what you think so? It's not like functional,
you
it's
can't,
just looks?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess it has to have some functionality, but then what's functionality? Is it how much you can lift? Is it how much you can run? If you don't have one of those things, is it, a problem where you're no longer in shape?
There are levels.
Yeah, I imagine. Does illness play a part in that? Where if you have some sort of problem, like, does that make you not in shape? I don't
Yeah,
really,
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But then
It's just a fact. You trying to play footsies with me?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I knew I touched something. I didn't know it was your foot.
It's like the fourth time, bro.
I'm
being sedentary.
I'm wearing
with my
Converse right now, man. I can't feel anything past this toe. It's like just a thick slab of rubber, dude. Dude. What's that YouTube channel you were showing me with that?
Philip something.
Yeah.
You just like look up milk steak and you can find it.
That's a pretty funny YouTube channel. Just a guy, dicking around.
He's great.
Yeah.
I strive to have that mental point in my life where it's just like nothing phases him.
No fucks
and
given.
He's just chill. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a guy I feel like I would be friends with.
Yeah.
Just because he's like really, really, he seems really kind and genuine, but also like he just doesn't care.
Yeah. I'm curious to see with how fast that guy gained popularity. And he's only got not even 10 videos on his channel yet, right?
Yeah, he's got like 300,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how many imitators come out of that. You know what I mean?
That's hard to imitate, though.
It is hard to imitate because it is mostly just his personality, but I'm sure it's going to happen.
It's awesome, too, because we all know someone like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You and I know someone like that.
Who are we talking about, Blake? What?
You're not supposed to say his name,
you
bro.
You said his name in the last podcast.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake.
Blake is a fun man. We love you, Blake. He's a good dude.
Doesn't care.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I like Blake.
I like Blake too. Blake is the most entertaining individual I've ever met.
Yeah.
I miss that, man.
Blake, he's one of those people that you don't get to see very often, and it's only because he's too lazy to show up to anything. Like, you want him to be there all the time. because he's just gonna provide a really good laugh.
If he's in a bad mood, he's gonna like scream about something pointless.
Yeah. It's that when Blake's in the room, you're gonna laugh your ass off once really hard. That's a good feeling too. That's a person you always want to be around.
Yeah.
I mean, not always. I wouldn't want to see Blake every day. I think, Blake, if you're listening to this, I love you. But I mean, they're just interesting people like that, you know?
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
It's awesome whenever I see Blake. Because I just run up to him and give him a hug.
Yeah. The last time I saw Blake, all he did was complain. Because he was just like, we were going to go play basketball. And he was like, why did I even come here? Because basketball's taking forever. I took an Uber here. I spent $10. Why did I even come here? Why did I even do this? This is stupid. And I just looked at him and I'm like, you relax. Like, just calm down. It'll start eventually.
These activities are hit and miss, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, they are.
You're gonna,
you're
gonna have a really good time or a really bad time. It's like a dance.
Yeah.
You don't leave a dance middle ground.
Yeah,
I've never once left a dance like. Swear it. Play footsies with me one more time.
Did I do it again?
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's just
don't touch my feet.
I'm sorry. Gosh. Why are you taking such a stance on this?
It's fine.
Yeah. It
Just
better
trying to be
fine.
funny. You know what? Fine. What was I saying? Parties.
You were talking about dances. I remember in an earlier podcast, and I'm only saying this so you don't repeat yourself.
Oh, have I ever said this before?
You said when you leave a podcast, you either leave on
Party,
cloud nine,
party,
dance. Fuck. So I don't speak too good.
When
you leave a dance, you either leave on cloud nine or in the dirt. Something like that. Yeah. I did it again. Oh, wait. No, that's your chair.
No, that was me.
That was you?
Again, yes.
Okay, I'm going to...
Are you just like constantly moving your feet?
Yeah, I'm like... I think it's just my shoes.
Yeah, are they uncomfortable?
They're not uncomfortable. It's just like they're thick. And
Right.
they have weight to them. I just want to move them.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All is forgiven.
Yeah.
Never do it again.
Thanks. Jeez. You're so mean to me.
No,
Why are you playing footsies with me now, man?
I'm showing you how it feels.
It feels weird.
I know
Stop
it does.
Stop it. It's getting weird. I didn't know this is how this podcast was going to go. It starts with a lovely conversation about films, and then it gets to a point where we're just screaming at each other because our feet keep accidentally touching. I feel like we're going to learn about ourselves a lot through this process.
So tell me, Anthony.
Yeah.
What's your favorite color?
What's my favorite color?
Yeah.
I'm an adult. I don't have one.
What is it? The dolphin thing again? You need to tell that story.
Oh, we were playing this game, and it's I can't. What is it called? Like psychiatrist or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Basically, it's like there's a group of people. You all sit in a circle, and one person has to leave, and the people in the circle all decide that they're going to put on the persona of something, and you could pick anything. So I remember when we played this game, it started with like angry housewife, and then the person who leaves the room comes back into the room, and then they basically play a game of 20 questions. They keep asking you different questions.
That one was great because the person was actually getting offended.
Yeah, that one was really funny. But it's like you ask questions, and then you have to respond to these questions as if you were an angry housewife. And we played another round, and I know I came up with the inspiration for the idea. I don't remember if I came up with the idea itself, but basically everybody had to be a different animal.
Yeah.
And you had to respond to each question like
you changed your mind like 5 times.
Yeah. I started with Wolverine. Not like a Wolverine. I started with Wolverine from X-Men. And I remember like I was asked a question, and it's like I don't remember what the exact question was, but I started talking about the war, and then I said I'm the best at what I do, bub.
Yeah, and the girl just looked at you like you were crazy.
Yeah, nobody got it, but eventually I switched to a frog. But there was a point where I was asked what my favorite color was, and I was like, I don't have one, and she was just like confused, I think, and then I think somebody said something like, not all animals could even see color, and it got to a debate where she was just like, yeah, well, there are animals that actually will gravitate to a certain color because like, there's maybe a reward and a failure system in place, and they've done studies where, like, animals will even remember specific colors. And I said something like, yeah, but that doesn't mean it's their favorite color. Like, animals don't have favorite colors. Can we just say that? I don't know.
I got a favorite color.
What's your favorite color?
Red.
I know. Why is red your favorite color? Could you explain?
It just always has been. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted red shit. It was like,
My shit's red.
You need to go to the doctor for that, my friend. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted red stuff. It was like, I like red cars. I like red. Don't have a red car. Oh, my first car was red.
Yeah, you used to have a red car. Whenever I'm asked that question, I never answer it, and I'm just like, I don't really have a favorite color. And then, like, why is it that when somebody asks you what your favorite color is, if you don't give an answer, they force you to have an answer?
This is Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color?
Whenever
you don't have a favorite color.
Whenever I'm asked,
you don't have a color.
I always say orange. I say orange.
Orange is a great color, man.
I say orange for two reasons. One, it's not blue or red, and everybody's answer is blue or red. And then two, it's the color of my favorite drum set. So I'm just like, yeah, my favorite drum set's orange. It's the one I like to play more than anything because it's a replica of a John Bonham kit, who was the drummer for Led Zeppelin for all you millennials.
Are you a millennial?
Yeah. I'm only 24, bro.
Gosh, you're so old.
Yeah. Is it weird to be 24 and have a midlife crisis? Because I've had like 7 already.
That's not a midlife crisis.
And I've only been 24 for.
We've explained this before. I'm going to break it down for you one last time.
I don't even remember this.
I'm going to break it down for you one last time, and then we're going to end it because I am tired.
What? You don't get to choose when this ends.
That's true. I'm not in charge.
You're not in charge.
How long have we been going on?
An hour and 6 minutes.
It's time to end it.
Okay, I was going to get to it anyway. I'd like to keep these at around an hour, maybe for now, unless we go on to a really funny conversation that requires a 4-hour thing.
True.
You never know.
What
did you just do to your mic? I'm looking at the sound waves right now. That was so loud.
Really?
I apologize to all the fans, all 24 subscribers that I think are here right now.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, thank you for all the people that came to the channel and subscribed.
And thank you to the person who shouted it out in one of his videos.
Yes, thank you very much, the Marvelous Wave.
You're welcome.
You great man.
I need to make 2 different personalities for myself.
Bro, my hearing just went out.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No, it didn't, because you heard me. You just heard me say no, it didn't.
No, like in one ear. I just went deaf.
No, you didn't.
It was so weird.
You're a liar.
I think it's like from the airplane.
Is it from the bang?
I think it's from the airplane.
Is it from the
I think my ears just popped.
Do you ever...
What?
Do you ever have that thing? Well, I know for a fact you do, but I'm just asking.
Ask away,
Where
bud.
it's like you're 24 years old and you're afraid you're never going to get married.
Yeah, every day.
Because you know you're old.
I'm going to die alone.
No, you won't. But anyway, it's just like those chemicals in your brain being like,
oh,
reproduce.
Yeah.
Need reproduce, make more babies.
Yeah, I'm going to die soon.
Yeah, you will.
I'm 24. I'm a quarter of the way done, man. And that's if I do good. And I wouldn't be surprised if I died at 60.
Do you feel old? Because I've been around you recently and like I've been making fun of your age because normally the friend group is like much younger. It's actually really not that much younger.
It's like just early 20s.
But you are older than I am.
Yeah.
You're like in the middle, definitely. Because I'm only 21 for those of you that don't know.
Yeah.
But we have people that we know that are like younger than that and like getting married and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, man, you're old.
Mm-hmm.
Does that ever like hit you? Like, do you ever like feel old?
You know when I feel old?
When?
I feel like the worst when I have thoughts like, I graduated high school like 6 years ago. Things like that. And it feels like it was sooner than that. Also, this is weird, but I'm going to say it because I think it's funny. I feel like only recently, I'll wake up in the morning. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning is you go to the bathroom and you pee. But now when I pee, I also fart. And I feel like that's something that's only happened to me in the past year and never earlier in my life. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm getting old. That's something an adult does.
Is it really?
I do something. I get cramps a lot.
Is that from exercise?
I think it's from exercising. I think it's just from working out because I also get a lot of muscle spasms. Nothing bad, by the way, guys. I'm fine. I'm healthy. Don't worry. It's all good.
I say we talk about one more thing.
What do you want to talk about?
You know what I want to talk about.
Do I? What?
Give me a big old pearly smile, and then I'll tell you.
Oh my god! Oh, I didn't want to get to this. I feel so.
I forgot, but now I remember.
Do you want to tell it, or do you want me to tell it?
Go for it.
Okay.
Don't sugarcoat it, because the dentist sure didn't.
I won't. Okay. I went to a dentist for the first time in a few years.
How many years?
Like 5 years.
So since like high school.
Yeah. I think I went to the dentist like sometime shortly after high school, but it's been like 5 years. Because it's like I brush my teeth every day. You know, it's fine. I'm fine. Never had a cavity in my life. You know,
That's not true.
I take good care of myself. Right?
No.
Listen, let me tell the story. You want me to tell the story, right?
Yeah. But
I go to the dentist like a couple days ago, and you know, they do an X-ray of your mouth. Which, by the way, X-rays are weird, and I hate them. I hate how they put a vest on you to cover your heart and lungs so you don't get cancer. Meanwhile, they scan your entire head. Like, you know, my brain's in there, right? Why am I not wearing a helmet?
There's probably some science where it's like you're fine.
Yeah.
Like,
anyway, so they do all that. Somebody comes and they examine your teeth and all that stuff. So the dentist walks in and they're like, all right, well, you got 2 cavities. And I'm like, what? I've never had a cavity before. You know, this is terrible. And they were like, yeah, so you're going to have to get fillings. You know, and we could either give you 1 today and then schedule another appointment to do the other one because we just don't have time to do both today. Or you could come in later and you could get them both done on the same day. And I was like, okay, well, I'm thinking that it'd probably be better to do it, you know, the same day so we could schedule a thing for later. And they were like, okay, that's great. Also, you need to get all 4 of your wisdom teeth pulled out. And I was just like, oh, Jesus, I don't want that. Like, you know, I've seen people get their wisdom teeth pulled out. Stoops has had his wisdom teeth pulled out, and I remember talking to him, and he just seemed like it was the worst time. He recently told me that pain was worse than the pain of his broken leg, actually. So that makes me feel great. And I got to get the tops and bottoms taken out. And I just hate that. I don't want to do it.
There's more.
Yeah, and then...
But wait,
and
there's
they were
more.
Like, so they were like, okay, so, you know, you have to schedule an appointment with the surgeon so you could, you know, see your options, see when you want to get that taken care of. And I was like, okay, you know, that sucks, but all right. And they were like, also, you need braces. And I was like, what? And they were just like, yeah, well, you know, it's something you could take care of right now. You know, the top teeth are pretty okay, but the bottom teeth could be straightened a little bit. And I'm like, all right, like, what are my options there? And they're like, well, you know, that's something you'd also have to meet with, like, another orthodontist to take care of, because there's a lot of different kinds of braces now. You could get the metal ones, or they have, like, basically these clear plastic ones that you kind of just wear over your teeth all day or something, you know, that are obviously more cosmetically appealing. And then I remember I walked out. I texted the stupendous wave what happened, and then I received a phone call from him, and all he did was laugh. It was literally 5 minutes of this man dying on the other end of the phone. I didn't even speak. He didn't speak. He just laughed. It was a good moment, actually. It was really funny. But, yeah, so basically, at some point in my life, coming up, probably in January, my teeth are going to be all screwed up. What are you showing me? Oh, wait, what is this? That's so stupid. It's a picture of the helmet from Iron Man and the Russo brothers teaser thing where they sent that image of that like blue laser looking thing, and it's just a picture of Iron Man's eye. It's so funny though.
That's what it was.
Yeah, this entire time it's like, what's that image? It's Iron Man's helmet. It's not like a super awesome blue laser shot by Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers.
All right. So that's pretty much it.
An hour and 13 minutes, 47 seconds-ish. 57 seconds. Oh, wow. I got to look at the time that's actually running, not 10 seconds before. Yeah, my teeth are all jacked up. And by jacked up, I mean they're nice. I don't look weird, guys. You look.
He doesn't
no,
look
you
weird.
Don't look weird. I love all you.
His top teeth don't look weird.
Who smiles with their teeth? Who smiles? I'm not happy.
It's a sign of weakness.
Yeah, exactly. So is sleeping. Don't do that. Be a man. Stay up all night. Wake up early in the morning. Fall asleep an hour before you have to wake up. Get your job done. And then be tired. And drink energy drinks to keep you alive. But
all right, everybody.
Yeah. This was a good one, y'all. I enjoyed you.
Y'all.
I hope you enjoyed us. And we're probably going to be recording a lot of podcasts within the next couple of weeks. Just try to get you guys a lot of content. So we hope that you stick around. Please subscribe. Follow my Instagram at Anthony Alicio and follow me on Twitter. I just made a Twitter account for this page. It's at Jeff's Super because you're not allowed to pick your names on Twitter anymore because there's too many. And also you can listen to this podcast on iTunes if you're not listening to it there right now, and on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe to the iTunes feed as well. And we look forward to the next one. We're glad that you're here. Goodbye.